In this lecture, I'm going to take another example so that you can easily understand how the components of a Kubernetes cluster work together. So this time I'm going to take an example of Nginx server. Suppose there is a request for the creation of 4 Nginx server or 4 Nginx container. So with the help of this kubectl command, I'm going to create the Nginx containers. So what will happen here, as soon as I'm going to hit the command, the request first will go to the API server. So here the Kubernetes API server is the front end of the Kubernetes server, or in simple words we can say any request to the Kubernetes cluster will first go to the API server. So here the API is the interface used to manage, create and configure Kubernetes cluster. It's how the user, your external components and parts of your cluster all communicate with each other. Now the request has come to the API server. Immediately the controller manager will be active and it will start how this request can be fulfilled. It is immediately go to the database, your etc database via the API server, and will cross check where we can create these 4 containers of the Nginx server. It will take all the information from the database and then it will provide all the information to the scheduler and instruct them to create all the 4 containers in this particular node via 4 pods or 2 pods, whatever. Now your scheduler is responsible for the creation of your Nginx containers. It will go to the particular node. Suppose this time your controller manager has instructed to create the containers in node 2. So your scheduler will go to the node 2 via the API server and then it will hit to the kubelet. So here kubelet is the node agent that is running on each node, whether it is a node 1 or node 2. So this time your scheduler is going to create 4 containers in node 2. So it will hit to the kubelet and your kubelet is a node agent. It is responsible for the creation of your pod. So here the request is for the creation of 4 Nginx server or 4 Nginx container. So might be possible they are going to create 4 pod or 2 pod, or it is up to the Kubernetes cluster. So who is going to decide? Your Kubernetes cluster is going to decide how many pods is required for the creation of this Nginx server. Suppose they have created 4 pod and it is going to consult with the container engine, that is your Docker. With the help of Docker, it is going to create the Nginx container and each container is running on each pod. Suppose while doing this exercise, it has created only 3 containers. Then what will happen here? Your controller manager keep on checking whether this scheduler has completed the request or not. Suppose it has created only 3 containers and while creating the 4th containers it got failed. So what will happen here? Your controller manager will again instruct to the scheduler that 1 container is still missing. So your scheduler will again go to the node via the API server, and if it is required it is going to create a new pod. Inside the pod, with the help of Docker, it is going to create the Nginx container. So this is one thing. So your service proxy or your kube proxy is going to allocate an IP address to the pod. So your network related things can be done by your kube proxy or your service proxy. Suppose there are 2 containers running inside a pod, and out of 2 containers 1 container is creating an issue. It is not running properly, or maybe it has gone faulty. So your Kubernetes cluster will come to know that this particular container is not running inside this pod. So what it will do, it is not going to recreate the container. It is going to recreate the entire pod, not container. Suppose 5 containers are running inside a pod. So what will happen? If 1 container is gone faulty, the entire pod is going to be recreated. So these are small things I will keep on telling you to this entire course. So that's all. We'll see you in the next lecture.